Edmonton. They only played one game over the weekend, and
They won.
It took them a while to score. Jordan Eberle had a really nice goal on the backhand, but
I never thought I'd say this.
They're young, they're fast, they're exciting.
I never thought I'd say this, but against Vancouver, I was praying that they would win against Vancouver.
And they did.
I don't like Edmonton because they have an embarrassment of riches.
You've said in this show you don't like Montreal, you don't like Edmonton, you don't like Vancouver.
Is there any Canadian teams that do like? I love Winnipeg. I think they're going to get first overall in the draft this year. But anyways, yes, basketball. Yes, the Lakers. They finally realized that they're not the kings of the universe. Actually, no. You know what? I respect the Lakers a lot more than I respect the Miami freaking Heat. But anyways, we're not talking about the Heat. We're talking about the Lakers. The fact that they came into Toronto, right? It was a home game?
Yep.
Okay, they come into Toronto. I don't know because I didn't watch the game. I was very busy yesterday. I didn't even watch football. I don't know what's going on with my life. Anyways.
That's why I'm here, but go on.
Exactly. Him with his Bills sweater on and his Jays shirt.
Bills are in the Super Bowl, right?
And his Raptors hat. Like, what's going on here? I was going to say bottom feeding teams.
I don't have my Raptors
The Jays are not a bottom feeding team. Let's put it that way. Anyways.
Raptors, Lakers.
For sure, if you asked me if the Raptors were going to win that game.
Probably not.
On paper.
No.
You said this a few shows ago. With the acquisitions they've made over this summer, you expect them to be in the finals.
The Lakers, yeah.
The Lakers.
Yeah, for sure.
So for them, like,
and
never mind the games before this game that they've played. They stroll into the ACC. The first thing you're thinking, the Raptors are finished. There's no way they're going to be able to beat this team. And you know what? Jose Calderon had a great game.
Yeah, 22-9.
And then pretty much
Landry Fields was great. And Landry Fields, double-digit points and rebounds, but most importantly, he defended Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant had 26 points, a game high, but it took him 32 shots to get 26 points. Landry Fields was great. They played him practically the whole game. The Raptors obviously knew what they were doing. They played one big primarily the whole way. They had Amir Johnson in there. Practically for the fourth quarter, and Landry Fields was playing the four. And the final score was 108-103. The Raptors were up by 15 the whole game. It wasn't until the last 6-7 minutes when the Lakers were down by 19 that Kobe and Steve Nash were jacking up threes and hitting them, that they made the game. They cut the lead to 6. I'm shocked at how bad the Lakers are. The Raptors they needed the win. They lost to Philly on the weekend. They had a 19-point lead on Friday night in Philadelphia. They blew it. They're up by 4 in that game with 8 seconds left, and a bad inbounds pass, and Drew Holiday takes over. And then, if you look at the last few games for the Raps before LA, they lost to Philly in overtime. They lost to Chicago in overtime. They lost to Milwaukee when they had a 20-point lead, and they played Brooklyn tough in Brooklyn. So they've played well. Unfortunately, they lost. So am I shocked that they beat the Lakers? No, because the Lakers have underachieved.
But you are? People are shocked that the Lakers are in this position.
And I guess you didn't see, but Dwight Howard was ejected yesterday. He had a technical foul early on, and then after a free throw attempt, Dwight Howard was walking up the court, and Alan Anderson got in his face and bumped him, and Dwight Howard, and they exchanged words, and they each received double technicals. And what happens when you get 2 technicals in a game? You get ejected. And Dwight Howard gets ejected, and LA loses their starting center in the first half. So that helped Toronto, but Toronto dominated the whole game. They were up by double digits almost the whole way until the very end when Kobe Bryant got desperate, and Kobe was hitting the threes.
So I'm curious, where do you think the Raptors would have been if Nash actually did sign?
Back in July when it was happening, as much as you would like the idea to have Steve Nash playing for Toronto, I don't think it would have been good for the franchise. And that Steve Nash is 38. He's older. If you're the Raptors, he would have been great for marketing. But if you're the Raptors, who would you rather have, Steve Nash or Kyle Lowry? For most fans, if they're passionate about Canadian basketball and they like Steve Nash, they're going to pick Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. But what's better for the Raptors is Kyle Lowry. He's younger. He's their go-to guy. Kyle Lowry played well too yesterday.
In my opinion, I think that Nash fits better with the Raptors than he does with the Lakers. If you see the Lakers are slow. They're so slow.
The Lakers are like station to station offense. It's you would think,
and Nash isn't like that.
With Dwight Howard,
he does things fast.
Yes,
he wants to go up the court and score.
If I had Steve Nash, he would fit perfect on the Raptors because they love high pick and rolls.
Exactly.
So Nash does the pick and roll, surveys the floor. He has so many options to go to. He can drive, he can shoot, he can kick it out. The guy who's setting the pick and roll to the hoop, stay back for a jump shot, like that's Steve Nash's game. What he's doing is he's giving the ball to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant's going one-on-one against guys. Or he's throwing it into Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard's going one-on-one, and that's not working for Steve Nash. And after the game...
He made his bed. He's got to sleep in it.
Obviously, though, if you're Steve Nash, you're probably going to pick LA. You haven't won a championship.
They're not going to win a championship this year, though.
You would think, though, before the season that they were. I mean, they got Meta World Peace, Howard,
Kobe, Pau
Gasol.
Could they win like 20 games in a row and win the championship?
They really got to turn it around quickly. If they even want to make the playoffs.
Even if they made the finals, they'd be decimated by whoever.
Let's not talk finals. Their goal should be to make the playoffs.
If they somehow like could get into the playoffs and get to the finals, I think the team that they would face, Miami Heat or whoever it's going to be.
I think you're over exaggerating. They're not even going to make the finals.
I know
they're not getting by OKC.
But I'm saying the way the team is structured, the way they've been playing, how bad they've been playing. Even if they flukishly made the finals, the team they would face would blow them out every single game.
Miami. It's going to be Miami or Chicago or maybe Indiana might make it.
And they cannot compete with those teams. You'd think that they'd be able to, especially with the addition of Howard and Nash. But you know what? They're nowhere to be found. I'm happy.
If LA goes up against OKC, like OKC steamrolled them last year, I think it was. Look at OKC, the way they play. They play fast, in your face, high flying. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka. They got all those guys. There's no way the Lakers could keep up. Quickly, we're going to go to the NFL. 49ers make the Super Bowl. It is a Harbaugh Bowl. Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh make it. Like that's something you see in a movie, and good for both. As a Bills fan, I'm happy to see that the Patriots lost. I don't like New England. Okay. I think they run up the score too much, but I'm shocked that they didn't beat Baltimore. Baltimore's defied odds. They're supposed to lose to Denver. They didn't. Joe Flacco went toe for toe with Peyton Manning and beat him. And last night, Tom Brady threw picks. Stephen Ridley fumbled. New England couldn't get it together in the second half, and Flacco had his game together, and Baltimore won, and they deserve to be in the Super Bowl.
How do you like the Super Bowl matchup?
It's not one of those in recent years that makes you say wow. Like last year, the Giants and Patriots was two wow teams. It was a rematch from 5 years prior. Pittsburgh Green Bay was another really good matchup. San Francisco Baltimore, I don't think it has the same flair.
You even picked New England to make it to the Super Bowl.
I picked New England, Atlanta.
And I was bad picks, man. I was right. I was right. I've been right, man. I don't even watch as much football as you, and I've been right.
They made the Final Four.
I should bet, but anyways, the reason I'm asking is because I want to know who you think should be on each team star for the Super Bowl. I think Kaepernick's the obvious choice for the 49ers.
Kaepernick, yeah, and then you want to say Ray Lewis on Baltimore?
Yeah.
If Baltimore wants,
would you love to see Ray Lewis win a Super Bowl?
Oh, he already won a Super Bowl.
No, I mean like his last
going out. Yeah,
potential
it would be
last
like
year.
Jerome Bettis winning with Pittsburgh and going out. But if Baltimore,
I want to see Kaepernick win.
If Baltimore has any chance,
I'm a Kaepernick fan.
If Baltimore has any chance, Joe Flacco has to keep doing what he's doing, or else.
Yeah.
I mean, that defense on San Francisco is so good, but Baltimore, they've picked it up in the postseason since Ray Lewis has come back, so their defense isn't too shabby either. But it's going to come down to the quarterbacks who can beat the other defense, and I think Kaepernick has a better chance than Flacco does. I'm going to say San Francisco wins, and they tie Pittsburgh for the most Super Bowls in history. And
I'm picking San Francisco to win as well. And so that was a great show.
Very good show. We fit a lot in there.
Yeah, it was tough though.
Good time.
We got 3 different sports.
We didn't have time to fight really.
No, I know. I mean, it was touch and go there for a bit, but we got it going. So, anyways, Leafs play tonight. They're gonna lose 4-1.
They're gonna win. 4-3.
By the next show, we're gonna know what our playoff indications are. Well, seriously.
Well, it's true because what?
Because
We
that's
played
5 games.
5 games.
5 games by then. 5 games, you'll know, right? If they've lost 4 games since today, well, you know.
There's a team this week in the NHL that plays 5 games. I forget who it is. San Jose? Or maybe Colorado. I don't know. But there's a team. Can you imagine? 5 games in a week? Unbelievable.
After the first 2 games, first opening weekend, last question of the show before we were going to end
I think it's St. Louis, but sorry, go on.
Yeah, who do you think is going to win the cup?
We already did that, though.
No, we didn't.
Last week we did that.
I know, but I'm saying after opening weekend.
Oh, after opening weekend?
Yeah, you've seen teams play now.
Edmonton, Philly last week.
Edmonton winning the cup?
No, that was last week. Remember?
Oh, man.
I'm picking out of the East. Pittsburgh looks good.
Who has the best start that you would think?
I'm going to Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and I'm going to say St. Louis wins.
In the East, Pittsburgh's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking.
Well, they won both
good.
games on the road, so
yeah, and they're looking good so far. And in the West, I don't know. I would say I don't know. I'm hearing people say St. Louis. I would say
Chicago looks good. Minnesota, yeah, they've won both.
Good. Minnesota. I remember I picked Minnesota initially last week, and then I changed my mind. I'm not changing. Anyways, that's your show. Hopefully by next week the Leafs will be in the playoffs, and we won't have to talk about planning the parade. We'll actually be able to. So,
I'm Drew. He's Jay.
And this is BluLunch.